If you're computing the cost of an agent by multiplying the tokens by the provider's price list, you're off by the factor of 5, sometimes 10. I'm not being dramatic. I've reconstructed the cost for production agent system across 3 different teams. In every single case, the number the engineers had in their head was roughly the inference cost. The actual number, the one that showed up on the invoice at the end of the month, was actually 4 to 10 times larger. Now, this video is about where that gap lives, not from the FinOps standpoint, the cost surface that sit inside the request path that most engineers do not see until the CFO starts asking that question. So let's understand as why this is wrong and where exactly it is going wrong. Now, all this is happening by the default mental model that we have for agent. So the default mental model is one agent call is equal to one inference, like input token plus output token times the price, done. That model is correct for stateless chat completion, but it is wrong for anything with tool use, memory, retrieval, or retries, which is every single production agent ever shipped. Now, think of this scenario. Let's say if you consider the agent, an agent call is not an inference, it is a graph of inferences. It will have tool invocation, it will have context assembly step, it will have sometimes recovery step. The visible cost, that is the one your billing dashboard shows, maybe a 30% of the total. The other 70% is distributed across 5 surfaces that nobody teaches. Now, I want to name them precisely over here. These are the 5 hidden failure surface, guys. If you internalize these, you start architecting differently. You stop thinking in tokens and start thinking in cost per successful outcome, which is the unit that actually matters in the agentic AI system. The first surface is the retry and fan out amplifier. This is the first surface, guys. The first hidden cost is the retries, and it is not in the simple way that you would think. Like if you consider an IV agent is going to hit a transient tool failure. Now, in such scenario, if there is a tool failure, it will do the retry. Now, that's nothing but 2 calls for a single outcome. So I would say it's fine because it's just one step of amplification. And most teams are actually able to see this. But here is something that most teams do not see. When an agent is in reasoning loop and the retry is going to produce a different intermediate result, the agent will sometimes replan. And this replanning means fresh inference on now whatever the longer context that we had. And this is going to include the failed attempt as well. It will also include the retry attempt and the agent's reasoning about which of these two is the one that it has to trust. One user action can actually fan into maybe 7 or 8 inference call. So each call's context window is going to grow as the trace accumulates. So as you can clearly see, you're not just paying the 7x, that you are actually paying the 7x on the progressive larger input. Now it starts compounding. I've seen an agent that cost 8 cents per successful call on maybe on paper, but it actually costed 42 cents because 18% of the calls retry and retry average 4.3 extra inferences on each. And on context, it actually became 2x larger than the original. So if you are not measuring this cost per successful outcome, not per call, per successful outcome, if you're not doing that, then you're flying blind in your agentic AI system. The second failure surface is context amplification. Now, this is the one that is a silent killer. Every time an agent takes a step, it's going to rewrite its context. The system prompt, the task, the tool output so far, even the intermediate reasoning, the history of calls. So all these things will get rewritten. Now, if you're dealing with a five-step agent, the final inference is running on a context that has been read five times. So you pay for every single read that has been done by the model. So think about it. Let's say if your task uses 1000 tokens of a system prompt and your agent takes five steps, that system prompt alone contributed for 5000 tokens of billable input across your trajectory. It's not just 1000, it is 5000. And this is why the prompt compression and context window discipline are not just optimization, they are the first order cost decision. A team that I work with cut their per task spend by 38% with just one change. They stopped re-injecting the full schema on every single step and started injecting only the tools that they had already chosen to use. So the mental model shift here is this. Context tokens are a multiplier, they're not constant. So every token in your prompt gets paid for once per every single agent step. So you have to treat it like the production memory allocation. It should not be treated as a documentation. And the third failure surface is the cost of being wrong. Here's the uncomfortable truth, guys. When an agent produces a wrong output, one of two things happen downstream. Either a human corrects it, and that human minute that also has a cost, or the wrong output gets propagates and the cost of recovery is even higher. And sometimes it is catastrophically higher. You do not see this on the OpenAI bill, but you do see it on your support ticket volume. You see it in the number of rollback. You see it when a pipeline that should have run overnight didn't run it because the agent told the scheduler to skip it. Now, this is why low quality agents are expensive even when they are cheap. A 4-cent agent with 20% wrong answer rate that requires, let's say, 5-minute human correction is effectively 150-cent agent. A 12-cent agent with 2% wrong answer rate is effectively 25-cent agent. So the cheap agents are often the expensive system. The architectural implication is this, and this is the senior move, guys. Sometimes the right answer is a more expensive model or a extra verification pass because the downstream cost of wrong is much larger than the delta in the inference cost. Knowing when to spend more per call is a senior call. If you go for the reflex of optimizing for cheapest per call, that's a junior or a mid-level move. The surface number 4 is idle and overhead infrastructure. Now, infrastructure that runs the agent, whether the agent is working or not, like for example, your vector store is actually being charged by the hour. So even if there is no query is active, your tool endpoints are behind the API gateways with minimum fees. Your container has a warm pool that keeps memory resident even during the quiet period. Your observability pipeline is ingesting the traces continuously. So every one of these is a standing cost that gets allocated across the agent call that you do make. For a low volume agent, these can dominate. And I've seen systems where compute cost per call was maybe 2 cent, but the allocated infrastructure overhead per call was 8 cent. I'm just giving a number for your reference because the agent was only receiving 200 requests a day against the platform provision for maybe 200,000 requests. The senior reasoning over here is this. Agent cost scales non-linearly with throughput on the wrong side. At low volume, you're paying fixed costs that dwarf the marginal inference. At high volume, you're paying marginal inference that dwarfs the fixed cost. So both regimes need different architectural choices. The trap that most teams fall into is building for the high volume regime before they have the traffic. So in such scenario, you end up paying enterprise scale infrastructure for boutique scale usage. And surface number 5 is eval and regression tags. And this is the one that nobody talks about. The cost of knowing that your agent is still working. Now, every meaningful agent system needs a regression harness. That means a set of task samples. You need to run against the current and the previous version. It should produce pass fail metric. And those runs are the inference call actually. And these inference call is going to cost money. So if your eval suite has 500 tasks and you run it on every deployment, you're actually buying 500 agent calls with all the amplification surfaces that I've just described. And this is just for the privilege of deploying. And if you multiply that by number of deployments that you would be doing it by week, and if you multiply it by the number of prompts that you're A/B testing, and you'll also multiply it with number of models that you're comparing, the cost is going to shoot up. And I've seen teams where eval spend was larger than their production spend. Now, that's not necessarily wrong. Like if you're in the rapid iteration phase, it is correct, but it is an explicit decision. It should not be done as an accident. The thing to internalize is this: your agent has the marginal cost per call and marginal cost per confidence, and you pay both. And senior teams budget for both. So the clear mental model is this. We call it as CPSO, that is cost per successful outcome. This is the frame that actually survives. So I want you to stop thinking in dollars per thousand tickets. That is the unit that the providers will actually bill you. It's not the unit that your system operates in. Your system will operate in successful outcome per dollar, or equivalently cost per successful outcome. So CPSO has a clean formula at the back of the napkin level. So inference cost plus fan out cost plus overhead cost divided by the success rate. Now let me walk through why this formula is operationally different from number of dollars per token. See, the numerator is the total spend across the surfaces, your inference, retry, eval tax, infra overhead. The denominator is what the fraction of your calls could actually produce the outcome the user asked for. The 90% success rate means you actually paid 10% of failures on top of the successes. Now, a 50% success rate means you actually paid twice on an average. So, when you optimize, you can either you can actually move either side of this equation. You can lower the numerator by compressing the context. Maybe you'll use the caching, batching, use a cheaper model for routing and more expensive one for generation. Or you can raise the denominator by verification, self-critic, better tool selection. And both the moves is going to lower the cost per successful outcome. And both of which require the architectural work. So the senior interview signal is this: a candidate who can tell you the cost per successful outcome of the system that they built and which of the five surfaces that they invested to lower it is the person who has actually ran an agent, especially in the production. A candidate who quotes as dollar per 1000 tokens has not run this. So if you want to take one action after this video, it is this: instrument your agent so that every session emits two numbers, total dollars spent on that session, whether the session succeeded or not. It should not be per call per session. It should be end to end. Then take a look at this calculation. Look at the top 5% of your sessions by cost. Now, that could be where your retry loops are. That is where your context amplification is. And that is where your most of your money is going. And that's the one that's going to help you to optimize your systems, guys. So the real cost of an agent is not what the API bills actually tells you. It is fully amortized cost of the producing the successful outcome. This includes every retry, every context rewrite, every human correction downstream, and every allocated hour of vector store, and every eval run that told you that it was still working. Engineers who think this way architect differently. They cache aggressively where it matters. They verify cheaply where wrong is expensive. So they don't provision for traffic that they don't have. They treat the context tokens like the hot loop. So if this frame lands you, if you have been measuring the wrong thing, there's a community of senior engineers where we go deeper into the cost architecture, trade off, and the patterns that turn the expensive demos into the affordable production system. You'll find the links in the description. So, system ship, demos don't. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you're looking for hands on build, check out our bootcamp. If you want to build a thinking muscle, check out our AI system design. If you're looking to review the code that someone has written, check out our AI code review accelerator. So I've linked everything in the below. This is Nachiketh Murthy, and I'll see you next time.